I roll an ad at the beginning. Hello!
And all of us as well. All of us.
Hello, welcome to episode 60 of the Chronicles of Nidum, run by us here at Dice of the Beholder and streamed through the growing pain in my ass. Heavyweight Gaming. Yes, thank you for singling me out on the screen. Before we get into tonight's session then, I can only imagine at least one of the players isn't going to have a go at me for the long intro this time. But yes, before we get into it, a word about our sponsors. First of all, again, the wonderful Loki Battle Mats, an award-winning UK-based TTRPG accessory creator. There are many books of battle mats, little, big, and giant sizes, and they're modular battle mat books are full of amazing artwork that add an awesome backdrop to any tabletop game. If you are interested in finding out more, please search for Loki Battle Mats on Facebook or visit lokibattlemats.com to view their amazing artwork and shop their physical maps. You can pop over to Drive-Thru RPG and find out quite a substantial amount of their digital maps on there, many of which are pay what you want. So please go check them out. Our second sponsor, our wonderful friends over at Blink Dog Dice, small dice maker based in Cardiff. You can find some fantastic, wonderful examples of their dice on their Etsy store, or by going back into many of the episodes we've already released and people just trying to hold their dice up to a ring light and it just not working at all. Yeah, search Blink Dog Dice, all one word, on all social media platforms, and the same goes for Etsy as well. Please go show them some love and tell them we sent you. It is, yeah, and nothing else to say. AD, you want to bring everyone else on the screen? Again?
We're back.
Hello.
Hello.
Millie's gone.
Millie's disappeared.
I think Millie's got to turn the dogs into slippers. Yes. You can see now she's smiling. She has comfy feet. The dogs have been turned into slippers. Okay, so without further ado, if everyone's ready, last time on the Chronicles of Nidum, you finally arrived at your first stop on your journey to Paras, the busy town of Jardin. Many people leaving and boarding the train. The Inquisitor finally took their leave, choosing to travel over land instead of by train, where it was potentially safer for them, but not before informing you of the utter destruction of a close friend. With Fives' metal corpse now devoid of the life force needed to animate him, the Warforged personality inhabiting the armor of Dice proposes an idea for their future. At this point, the party split, making your way into Jardin or staying on the train, as it wasn't due to leave until early the next morning. Ace and Dice stay behind, Oriana finding a bar, attempting to drink away her sorrows. Sepsis, though, ventured further out of town to deal with their own particular issue, which had begun to rear its ugly head again. Finding an adequate target, they managed to worm their way into the home of an old local woman. This time, though, with a quick detect thoughts spell, Sepsis may have bitten off slightly more than they can chew. That is where you find yourself, Sepsis, with the detect thoughts spell still up, still working, standing across from you, not much taller than you are, a small, elderly woman, white hair, clothes slightly better than rags, very slightly, old gnarled hands. And again, the window box is inside, and you can see throughout the kitchen many, many, many deadly herbs, fungus, hanging there drying in racks. Would you like some tea, Betty? You're muted, Greg.
Oh, yes, that would be wonderful. Thank you.
She makes her way into the kitchen. You can see her there, having already boiled some water, starts to pour some tea into a teapot, or water into a teapot, sorry. Arranges cups on a tray, and tottering, shaking, you can hear the porcelain clang. She brings them back over and places a cup down in front of you.
Richard, is this tea poisoned?
I don't know. Is it?
Is there some sort of dice I could roll to find out if this tea is poisoned?
There absolutely is. Please roll me a... For you, I suppose it would be alchemy check or a nature check.
Nature is what I use for a lot of my poisony things. So
Mm-hmm.
okay. 16.
16.
Mhm.
Okay. As the vapors from the tea waft into your nostrils, you do detect it is a very simple green tea. Would be quite nice if not for the hemlock that you can taste under it. It doesn't smell that strong. It smells weak, and even for one, you suppose you've done the maths previously in your head, the amount of poison needed, as opposed, versus the size of the person you're trying to poison. You would imagine that the hemlock in this tea would be enough maybe to put your little girl visage to sleep. Not kill them, definitely knock them out.
Excellent. I will drink the tea. I'll have a deep sip of the tea.
Okay.
You must be quite the gardener to have grown all of these pretty herbs.
They are pretty, but they are dangerous for, especially for one as small as you. You have been through so much. You have lost your mother. You have lost your family, especially out here in the wilds of Nidum. It is a terrible place to be lost. You should lay your head down. You should dream lovely dreams.
Yes, I am. I am starting to feel quite sleepy, and I'll take another big sip of the tea.
I am not
Um,
surprised with what you have been through today. It is very tiring, very stressful. Please, there is a comfortable chair here.
Is there
And
anything? Is there anything interesting happening in her surface thoughts right now?
her surface thoughts revolve around you sleeping. And you begin to build a picture in your mind of the woman's surface thoughts. And the taste that she wishes to experience is not of flesh, it is of your dreams.
Oh, interesting.
She gestures to a padded armchair that looks quite comfortable.
Oh, thank you. This looks quite comfortable. And I'll go over and sit in the armchair.
Is there anything else I can get for you?
Could
Would you like a blanket? Or...
Could you close the shutters? It's very light in here.
Of course, Betty. And she wanders over and begins to methodically, slowly walk around the room and close the shutters. And it does begin to get dark, only maybe 2 or 3 candles around the room still lit.
I start to sort of mime as if I'm falling asleep.
Okay. Okay. Roll me a performance check.
I would prefer deception, but I'll take it. 7.
7.
Yeah. It's a big 7 though. Like a strong 7.
She wanders back over It seems to stand over you, not too close, not to encroach or invade your personal space, but smiles in a quite calming fashion. Outwardly, there is nothing about her that is not kind and motherly and warm. But the smile starts to fade. And as you can still kind of sense her standing there, peering out of your half-closed eyes, the smile almost completely disappears.
If the herbs are so dangerous, why do you grow them?
They have medicinal properties. Are
They
you
make
not,
people get better.
if used correctly, they remove problems that
Like what
people
kind
are
of
having.
problem?
Roll a wisdom saving throw. It is a magical, it is a spell.
Okay, well, I do have advantage.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to stick with the 16 I originally rolled, and
Okay.
not the one that I followed it up with.
Okay. And I'm going to need a second, only because D&D Beyond just did a beholder on me. There is an issue with this from the abyss. Thank you very
Rubbish
much.
site D&D Beyond, isn't it? Shit.
Stop, Chip. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Here we go. Dun, 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 dun. God, that's a lot of encounters. Right. Okay. And 16, you said, yeah?
I did say 16.
Okay. You feel a very familiar spell enter your mind.
Oh,
Used on you recently by the Inquisitor and used yourself minutes ago.
fucking hell, everyone in this goddamn continent knows how to cast Detect Thoughts.
What are you thinking?
Um,
Your surface thoughts, anyway.
I suppose I'm very curious about what this old lady actually is. So I'm probably sort of scanning through my mental bestiary, trying to work out what kind of creature this is, because I strongly suspect it's not just like an old lady who's into some poisons.
You see then the smile, the motherly demeanor completely disappear. She is now glaring at you. You have some horrible worries, Betty. You have seen some terrible things in your short life, it does seem.
Well,
Are you...
Am I what?
You are not what you seem, are you?
Yes, I'm just a little girl.
And I am an old woman.
What kind of old woman?
Oh, very old. Very, very old. So old that it is hard to deceive me for long. You show me yours, I will show you mine.
I cast Blight.
You can... Okay. Straight out of the gate. Okay. And can you please, for the benefit of people in chat, describe what the blight spell does?
Necromantic energy washes over a creature of your choice that you can see within range, draining moisture and vitality from it. The target must make a Constitution saving throw. The target takes 8d8 necrotic damage on a failed save, or half as much damage on a successful one. The spell has no effect on undead or constructs.
Okay.
If you target a plant, creature, or magical plant, it makes the saving throw with disadvantage.
Okay. Cool. So it's a con save, yeah?
It is a con save.
Con save, okay. Okay. That is going to be a 15.
That does not pass.
Oh, okay.
So I need to find 8d8 here. That's 2, 3, 4, 5. You a d8, yes. 7. It's convenient that my drawer full of dice is right next to my D&D location.
Mm-hmm.
It's less convenient that I dropped one of my dice on the floor. Okay. 8, 13, 18, 19, 20, 27, 34, 37 necrotic damage.
37 necrotic damage, okay.
Yes.
Roll for initiative, please.
I had a feeling you might say that after the whole blight thing.
Yes, please.
Yes, please. 8.
8. Yeah. Okay. You still go first.
Wow. That's unfortunate for her.
Okay, so as the spell leaves you and hits the woman in front of you, instead of withering with the force of your magic, her form seems to grow. And before your eyes, the woman falls away, and left in her place is a much larger adversary.
Fancy baby hag.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and before you, familiar but with some marked differences to the hag that was under the sea or under the waters around Yggdrasil in the garden, you do see an hag. A hag. Ag?
An hag.
You see,
An hag.
it's an hag.
It's an hag, isn't she? It's a bloody hag.
Shut it, you hag. There's a hag standing before you.
Yeah. Yep.
So what would... Oh, and as then your initiative begins, you hear in your mind, Boss, you wanted news when the goblins started doing things with the train.
Yes.
They're doing stuff. Do you want me to describe it to you?
No. Not presently.
All right, I'll wait.
Thanks. Okay, I'm going to cast Summon Aberration.
Ooh, okay.
So, I mean, first what I'm going to do is I'm going to move two to the right. So
Okay.
I'm still in base contact, but
Okay, cool.
I'm out of where I'm about to cast an aberration. Oh no,
Okay.
they're medium. They're medium. I'll just plop the aberration down behind her. I won't move yet.
Okay.
So I am going to summon. I get to choose
You do?
either a Beholder King, a Slard, or a Starspawn. I just need to quickly look at. I think maybe we'll go for a. Should we go for a Slard? What do we think? Or should we go for a Starspawn? I like the Starspawn quite a lot. Yeah, no, I think we'll go for a Starspawn, please. I'm going to drop a Starspawn behind her.
Okay. Now, being a poor Twitch streamer, I haven't, been able to manage to get any Starspawn miniatures.
Disappointing.
I'm very, very sorry.
No, I changed my mind. It is going to be a slard after all. We'll go for
Okay.
a slard.
I haven't got a slard either.
All right. Well,
Hang on.
I don't know what kind of fucking rinky-dink operation you're running around here.
Give me a second.
For the benefits of the chat, anyone who hasn't googled it yet, a slard is a big horrible toad-looking thing. It's real gross. I don't like them.
There you go. It's a medium creature. It's a
So-
lizard. Slard are quite lizard-like.
You call forth an aberrant spirit. It manifests in an unoccupied space you can see within range. This corporeal form uses the aberrant spirit's stats block, which I have. When you cast the spell, choose Beholder King, blah blah blah. Creature is an ally to you and your companions in combat. Creature shares your initiative count, but it takes its turn immediately after yours. It obeys your verbal commands. No action required by you. If you don't issue any, it takes the dodge action. And uses its move to avoid danger. I'm going to say, hello, Slard. I would very much appreciate if you would kill this hag. Her face offends me. And then I'm going to move away from her, so I'm going to try and move into the far corner over there.
Furthest away from the camera, yeah?
Yeah, furthest away from the camera.
Okay.
So I'll take my attack of opportunity, obviously.
Okay, no problem. And
How hard can an ag hit?
okay. So as you move then, it's going to take one swipe at you with the claw.
Probably won't hit. My armor class is really high.
And that is going to be a 19 to hit.
That does actually hit me, yes.
Mm-hmm. He's then going to
On
do...
account of my armor class is 12.
It's going to be 6, 8, 11. You take 16 slashing damage as the claw rakes across your chest.
Excellent.
But you
That's,
do-
that's exactly what I wanted to do. Excellent. And then
Okay.
and then my Slard will attack.
Your slard will attack, yeah?
So it does a multi-attack. It does a number of attacks equal to half the spell's level rounded down. The spell is a
Okay.
level 4 spell, so it will do 2 attacks against her. I'll roll both of them at the same time. Bloody hell. This is a plus to hit. Oh, it's my spell attack modifier. Okay. So it's I rolled a 14 and a 15. Do either of those hit this hag?
Give me a second. And no.
Okay.
Both of the slashes miss. Unfortunately, she just kind of ambles out of the way as the slard swipes.
How extremely unfortunate.
It is now her turn.
Sure is.
She turns to face the slad, now realizing the danger from behind, and makes 3 attacks against it.
Jolly good.
First of all, she is going to lunge forward and bite at him. That is going to be a 15.
15 is its AC.
15 hits, okay. And is then going to make 2 claw attacks.
Okay.
That is going to be a 16 and a 20. Not a natural, but a 20.
All hit.
Okay. So, that's going to be 1, 2, 3. Okay. The slard takes. There we go. 52 points of damage.
Dead. Gone.
Okay.
Brilliant.
And the hag is now at a loss, as you could see her arms kind of bringing it in for a crushing hug, but it just kind of discorporates in her arms disappears. Your spell finished. She's going to follow you then into the corner.
Yeah, I would have thought so.
It is your turn.
Sure. Well, I'm going to start with a... I didn't come into this with a tremendous amount of spell slots. I'm going to start out with... Hex. So I place a curse on the hag. Which now means I deal 1d6 extra necrotic, and I can choose one ability to give her a disadvantage on. I will give a disadvantage on strength-based abilities.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna try Eldritch blasting her, which, like, I guess will be at disadvantage since she's right there in front of me.
Yep.
Good times. I rolled a double 1 on the first one, because my dice hate me today, apparently.
So the first bolt just careens into the ceiling directly above you.
Yeah. The second bolt I rolled 24 on, so that one's definitely going to hit.
Second bolt definitely hits, yeah.
So that is 1d10 plus 1d6. Oh, nice. 11 plus whatever I do for agonizing blast, which I have forgotten. Plus 4.
Yeah.
So that is 15 damage from Eldritch Blast.
15 points of damage, okay.
Mm-hmm.
As she looms above you now, holding her chest with one massive claw, you can see the burn there, and you can see the necrotic energy spreading out across her skin. She looks hurt.
Okay. Giving me false hope.
However, it is now her turn.
Yeah, I would have thought so.
And she screams at you now, all pretense at accent or old woman gone, and just spits in your face. Why did you come here? And she's going to make
Starting to wonder that myself.
attacks against you. Ooh, okay. The bite is a natural 1.
That doesn't hit.
No. Both claw strikes definitely hit.
Yeah, I would have thought so.
Yeah, the dice rolled more than your armor class. I don't even need to do the plus. Okay, so you take 25 points of slashing damage
In total?
in total.
Okay.
And I need you to make me a contested grapple check,
Okay.
which
So
I believe
she's using strength for that, I presume.
she is. So
So
she
she'll
gets
have
a disadvantage, and you have...
And I have advantage because of some feat that you gave me ages ago.
It's your racial feat for being a UNT.
Yeah, which I...
Serpent's agility. I
yes,
think
you have
I called
advantage
it.
on dexterity acrobatics check made to escape being grappled.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. Oh my god. I rolled an 8.
Okay. She rolled a 4.
Nice. Get fucked. Get fucked, old lady.
She attempts to wrap both of her arms around you now that she's struck you with both of her claws, but you, as quick as you like, do manage to just worm yourself out of the way.
Hey, Bray, I have an important question. Would she have
yeah.
beaten my 8 if she didn't have disadvantage?
Yeah.
I love hearing that.
The other one on the dice was a 19.
Fucking hell.
I'm
Hex
gonna.
is brilliant. I love
It
Hex.
is your go.
It is my go, and I'm going to use the profane rod of the Pact Keeper to cast Vampiric Touch now.
Okay.
So I will make a melee spell attack against her.
Go for it.
I'm going to use. I have inspiration because of a bad joke I told while playing Valheim, so I'm going to use that just to try and.
It's the only thing I give inspiration for.
Yeah, that is 20 total.
20 definitely hits.
Excellent. So
Roll for
she
damage.
takes 3d6 necrotic damage plus 1d6 necrotic damage for the hex.
Mm-hmm.
That is 3, 9, 14, 18 necrotic damage.
18 in total, yeah.
18 in total, and I
Okay.
regain 9 hit points.
Excellent. Okay. She looks messed up.
Okie
Oh, it's a very relevant glass I'm drinking out of right now.
Right,
Take
I've
to
just-
your own. Why are you drinking out of that one?
Well, I asked for a squash, and I had my glass ready, but Amelia went straight to the kitchen instead of getting me.
Right, I've just spotted that I did a cock up there. So Vampiric Touch is a concentration spell, so it ends my hex.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna roll a d6 and subtract that, if that's okay.
Yeah, that's cool.
All right, so she takes 13 points of damage, and I regain 6.
5 back, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. Okay. Is that the end of your go?
It is the end of my go. She is no longer hexed.
No worries. Raging at you now, then. I have never killed anyone. Why? And is going to strike at you again. So this time, there we go. It's a natural 1 again on the bite.
Cool.
She's all gums. Most of them have fallen out. It just doesn't work. And then the other two, the 2 claw attacks are definitely going to hit you. There we go. So that is again. You take 37 points of damage.
Fucking hell. That's a lot of points of damage.
Mm-hmm. 66 plus 10.
Yeah, I could die here.
Or 3d6 plus 5 twice.
Yeah.
And I'm going to need you to make a contested grapple check, please.
Yeah, I still have advantage, but she doesn't have disadvantage anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I got 16.
She rolled an 8.
Nice.
And it is now your go.
Cool. I will, because oh no, I need to roll a concentration saving throw for Vampiric Touch. So that 37 was actually 2 attacks, wasn't it? So I have to
It
roll
was.
2 concentration saving throws.
Yes. And give me a second.
Yeah.
8. Sorry. 13. So that's 18 on the first one.
Okay, and it's half the damage taken, or 10, whichever's higher for a concentration saving throw, isn't it?
So it'd be 10.
Yeah. So that's 25.
And the second one was 19. So same.
Yeah. Yeah, easy. 14.
Cool.
So I still have concentration on Vampiric Touch, so I will make the same attack against her again.
Okay.
Natural 1.
Okay. So that's your action. Any bonus action, or is that?
Yeah. I think we're going to do a bonus action of some sort. Fucking hell, do I not have? I thought I had Misty Step, but apparently I don't have Misty Step. Oh, I do, but it's a level 2 spell, and I don't have any slots for it. No, in fact, I do not have any bonus actions to perform.
Okay.
So I'm just going to try and ride out these hits now.
Okay. So the bite is 10.
And does not hit.
First claw is a natural 1. I'm getting rid of these dice.
I think you should keep them forever.
They're the critical roll dice. They're the ones you gave me.
These are the only dice I ever want you to use again.
These are the special.
I can't believe you're using the dice we got you as a gift for murdering me.
And oh my god!
Roll.
She's got +8 to hit, right? She rolled a 2.
Nice. That doesn't hit. Well, we're both rolling as shit as each other. I'm gonna hit her with Vampiric Touch again.
Okay.
Does 16 hit her?
Yeah, just.
Fucking hell. 3d6.
It's her armor class.
Fucky, shut up.
Fucking hell. Hang on. Just gonna take a picture of the 3 6s I just rolled on 3d6.
I believe you.
Yeah, just
But the picture's for you.
yeah, I just want to commemorate it. There's something very special about rolling 666 as sepsis, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's 18 damage to her.
18.
Yeah, and I regain 9 hit points.
You do. And with 17 hit points left
Oof.
before you struck her,
Jesus Christ.
as the rod impacts, she wails in agony as you see the necrotic energy spread out over the rest of her body. And the large form before you, giant in size, starts to desiccate and age before your eyes until on the floor in front of you is a mangled, dried out corpse.
I kick it.
It crunches.
Stupid fucking hag.
How many hit points are you on?
25 now, but I was on 16 before I regained 9 from that vampiric touch.
Okay.
That's definitely the most clutch damage roll I've ever rolled in my life. I don't think I've ever rolled 3 6s on 3d6 before.
You go to Vegas.
Yeah. Yeah.
Standing there then in the room, less than 30 seconds having passed, what would you like to do?
I just sit back down in the armchair. Feel like, what the fuck? What the fuck? I think I'm just gonna have a moment. I'm just gonna sit there and have a moment. And think about how close to death I just came for no good fucking reason at all.
Can I ask a question then?
Yes.
Are all of your possessions on you?
Like my personal possessions? Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
As you sit there then, breathing hard in the aftermath of a very close fought battle, taking in the pain of the wounds given to you by the hag now lying dead at your feet, you look around the room and you begin to see the amount of different horrible poisons and terrible concoctions that could be made in this house. The smell of fresh flowers, spring blooms, that shouldn't have existed anyway, midwinter, begins to disappear. But as it does, after a few minutes of sitting there, you notice that everything seems to be drying out very quickly, as if before your eyes, the process of time, wear and age on these plants happens in seconds instead of hours, until all around you in this room, every single plant is dead. They start to fall, turn to dust.
Okay. I want to
We can get rid of the map now, Eddie.
I want to have a look around. Like, I want to investigate this house to see what I can find, because I feel like this, this hag with all these poisons might have something of interest to me.
Okay.
So I'm gonna spend some time rummaging around in her things.
Okay. How long are you willing to commit to it?
We're here overnight, aren't we?
Yeah,
Like,
quick perusal, or are you just gonna?
No, I want to be really thorough.
Roll me an investigation check then with advantage.
Okay. I rolled 29.
29. Okay.
I rolled a 19 and a 17. All the big numbers apparently exist on these dice now I'm out of combat.
I will come back to you in a moment then with what you found. But obviously, this is D&D. It's a group activity. So I'm going to go.
Fuck me, is it?
That's also a group activity.
I'm going to go to. Yes, in fact, no, we're going to go to Charlie next, or Oriana. You sit. It has been literal minutes have passed. Is there anything in particular you wanted to do, or are you just happy to drink there all day with Remy, the barman?
I'm drinking my Irish coffee, and I'm fine.
Okay. Is there anything in particular you would like to inquire about, or?
No, I'm just drinking. I might buy a couple of bottles of something to take back to the train.
Okay.
So I'm going to pay the train prices again.
Yep. You do know that the train is leaving like in the very early hours of the morning, like before breakfast. But yeah.
Yeah, I'll be back by like nightfall.
Okay.
I eventually move on to hard liquor.
Okay. With that then, you are enjoying yourself. It does only get rowdier and more lively throughout the day.
I do start performing and dancing.
You do start performing?
Yeah.
Okay, no problem. After a while then, seeing that you're one of the most amicable and least lecherous denizens of the bar, most of the girls who are performing do come over during the day when they're on break, when they're having a moment to rest, and start to chat to you as well. They're all quite lovely. They find it strange to hear a tiefling without the same accent as theirs, and you are a novelty after a moment, and it doesn't take too many drinks or too many hours in the bar for you to eventually be convinced then to take your place on stage. Roll me a performance check.
18.
18? Okay. Are you singing, dancing?
Dancing.
Dancing, okay. As you begin to dance then, no one really takes much notice in the beginning, as you are just the next act that is on. However, as the music builds, you do feel more eyes begin to turn and only pay attention to you. And you feel the noise around you, apart from the music, kind of fades away. Conversation begins to come to a halt as everyone, all of the paying customers, and even a few of the staff the girls who work there are entranced by your performance. And at the end of your dance, panting, having exerted yourself, you take a bow and you begin to feel the floor kind of start to rumble as many, many coins are thrown onto the bar in front of you, or onto the stage, sorry. You go to help gather them, but one of the girls kind of just grabs a hat from one of the men sitting around the stage and just sweeps all of the coins into it and hands the hat to you. It's mostly copper and silver. There's very little gold in there. But they're quite a weighty purse for one performance.
I'm going to give like a 25% cut of how much that is to the bar.
Okay. Remy is does not put up too much of a fight when you offer the money. It's kind of like, no, you weren't it. Oh, if you insist, okay.
Just take it.
And offers you a few more drinks on the house then. Did you say you were going to buy a couple of bottles of hard liquor to take back to the train?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to need you to take 10 gold for the bottles of liquor. I want you to take 10 gold off your total.
Cool.
You can probably, if you want to, add in maybe 20 silver and 50 copper for the change.
Done.
Back to the train then. Dice.
Yeah, hi. I'm still here.
You sit there with Ace. Ace is in quiet conversation with one off in the corner. You still sit there, half meditating, half praying, with Fives' form in front of you, the dark docent still, no life in it, in the middle of his chest.
Well,
Is there anything in particular you'd like to do?
yeah, Vizier is already moving into Fives and making changes, to my understanding.
Saying that then, roll me a perception check.
I can't. I've put my drink in my dice tray.
With advantage.
What am I rolling? Perception.
Yes.
With advantage.
Because of your intimate knowledge of these automatons and their workings and their form.
Yeah. It's not the best. 14.
14? Okay. You sit there for about an hour. And over that time, nothing much occurs at pace. But then it's as if something clicks in your mind. It's as if you find new focus. And the picture in front of you comes into perfect clarity. And it is changing. Fives' form seems to be getting skinnier, at the same time longer. As if his limbs begin to stretch. The torso extending. You get the feeling he may be about 6.5 feet, approaching 7 feet tall. The thinner he's getting, it's strange, it's difficult. You can't quite work out where his additional mass is going until you take a closer look at his armor, which seems to be almost changing color, moving from the dull iron gray to there's a red in there, some greens. You begin to look at his inner workings and see some of the cogs. They take on a copper or a burnished finish. And as you look closer and closer at Fives' skin, these solid armor panels, you begin to see etching, lines that get deeper and deeper as the minutes pass. As if finely, beautifully etched cogs and wheels in an infinite, impossible to work out machine are imprinted on his skin are imprinted on his form.
Carry on without me. Keep talking. I'm listening.
Okay. You continue to watch as this change occurs to Fives' corpse. But anyway, yes. Sepsis.
Yes.
As it begins to darken outside,
Mhm.
you find that the search in full has been done to the
Yeah.
house. It is not large and seemed very simple. There was a bed, a very small kitchen, a chair. One look outside a window showed you there's a water closet close by, but outside there was nothing about this place that screamed hag.
Mhm.
Until you walked over one particular section of the flooring. It didn't take you long to work out the workings of the trapdoor. And after opening it and descending into the darkness below, you discovered a much larger room. The roots of all of the horrific plants grew down through the earth into this room. Some of them, in fact, hooked up to strange apparatus that were gathering whatever dripped from those roots. Some poison, some venom, some disgusting concoction being made off in one corner. As you move down, you find, even as you move into this room, the roots now begin to wither and die. In fact, the process seems to speed up as you get closer to them. There is, however, a large locked chest and some books, some scrolls off in the corner.
Okay. I'm going to look around for the key for the chest.
Okay.
Just drop my phone on the floor.
The chest itself does not appear to have a keyhole, but as you get to it and investigate further, it seems to be magically locked.
Okay.
Or it seems that it was magically locked, the magic being tied to the life force of its owner. It would appear now the magical seal in the front has split, and the chest is open.
Open or just unlocked?
Unlocked.
Okay. I'm gonna take the longest thing I have, which I guess is probably the profane rod of the pack keeper,
Mm-hmm.
and just like cowering away from it, just like use the rod to like flip the chest open and then like dart away in the other direction.
Okay. Nothing happens. The lid of the chest bangs open.
I feel faintly silly. I am embarrassed as a bonus action. Yeah, I'll go over and look and see what's inside the chest.
Inside the chest, then, are many, many bottles and vials, carefully wrapped so that they do not knock into each other, break accidentally. There are more colors of liquid in this chest, some glowing, in fact, than you have ever seen. More colors in this chest than there are in the rainbow or in the world you have seen up until now. Some of them seem to have strange objects floating inside them. One bottle seems to have nothing in it, but glows as brightly as 100 candles.
Fucking jackpot. This is where I always hate having a character who doesn't have identify as a spell. Just like, but I do have I obviously do have a herbalism kit and a poisonous kit, so hopefully I can spend some time with them working out what's what, in as much as I can get information. But there are also some books, you said.
There are.
Okay. I'm gonna have a look and see what the books are.
Okay. One book seems to be written in a strange mixture of languages. The question now then being, can you speak? Bear with me. There we go. Get that back up. Can you speak Giant or Sylvan?
Nope.
Okay. Do you want to try and make an intelligence check?
I do want to try and make an intelligence check. No, that's a 6.
Okay. While some of the most common words are familiar, even in Giant, it's a very simple tongue. There's things like the 5 and nothing else really jumps out at you. It could do with some further study later. The only thing you can really determine is it seems to be a very rudimentary stock list
Right.
and a recipe book.
Okay. Well, I'm definitely going to take it.
Okay.
And I'll take I'll take all the contents of the chest that I can get my hands on as well.
There are 10 vials and about 15 larger bottles. The vials being around about the same size as a simple healing draft. The bottles larger, more bulbous, around about the same size as a greater healing potion kind of thing.
Is there anything here that I can carry things in? I mean, I've got my backpack, like I've never not had that. And I think most of my equipment now is in most of the common equipment is in the bag of holding, so there should be a fair amount of room in the pack.
There's probably quite a substantial amount of room.
Yeah, so I'm going to try and load
Enough
as much of this up as I can.
Wrapped in Hessian sacking, they are safe enough, you think, in your pockets and your backpack, that you can pretty much get most of it, or all of it, on your person. So you do clink slightly as you walk, or if you were to run or power walk, you might make it a little bit too much noise. Just saying, you've got enough glass on you right now, you might get disadvantage on stealth checks. Just throwing that in.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And coming to the evening then, as the sun begins to go down outside, what would you like to do?
Trying to decide whether Sepsis would take a finger from the hag or not. So Sepsis is like, this is not me. This is not just me. This is also Sepsis in character making this decision. So Sepsis is literally standing there with a knife in one hand, looking at this hag, like. And then I think I will take one.
So you're going to take a finger from the hag, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So that is one more finger. There are, you've got them on you with your alchemist kit. You place it into a small vial, put it with the rest of your collection.
This will make another fine addition to my collection. And then I guess I'll make my way back to the train.
Okay. In the wonders of storytelling, you and Oriana arrive at the station from different directions around about the same time. Oriana, half cut, well on her way to a blind drunk, but still standing at the moment, being guided back by a equally as drunk, as he began to join her at some point during the day, singing at the top of his lungs, very badly, Remy.
Right, did I have time for a short rest anywhere in there? Because I was gone most of the day, right?
Yeah,
Okay, I'm going to take a short
you
rest.
can have a short rest. Same with everyone else.
Ooh, thank you for the raid.
Oh, who's raiding us? Hello, King Kitchen
Thank
and
you.
raiders. Welcome to the nightmare that we're having today.
Yeah. Hi. This is my friend Sepsis.
Hello.
This is Remy.
Your friend Sepsis is very short. He's very little.
They're not tiefling.
Well,
Uh,
I might grow yet, but you will still be ugly.
Don't listen to them, Remy.
It was very. There are three of him, and the words they were all jumbled. Was it a compliment?
Yes. Yes.
I will take it as such anyway.
I don't think it was.
Is this where we say goodbye?
This is my train. You need to go back.
If you are ever in Jardin again, I will. We are in Jardin, yes.
Yes. Yeah. I think. Yeah.
It looks like Jardin train station. They can't have moved it. So yes, if you ever find yourself in Jardin again, look me up.
I will.
I am Remy.
I know, Remy.
Au revoir.
Au revoir.
And he stumbles off in the complete opposite direction to the bar you just left.
How many hit points has Sepsis got now?
65.
How much what's your full amount?
87.
I'm just turn slowly look Sepsis and now go, you look like shit.
You
What
look
have you been-
shit-faced.
Well, yeah. What have you been doing?
I don't feel like lying, Oriana. I killed a hag.
What, just like a nasty old lady, or?
No. Remember, like the hag that we fought underwater before?
Oh, on your own?
Yep. Turns out I'm really
Shit!
powerful.
I'll drink to that.
It was-
The bottle starts swinging again.
It was preying on a little girl.
You've done the world a justice.
I'm not sure what that means.
You
But-
did a good thing.
Yes, I slew a monster that was going to eat the dreams of a little girl child,
Yes.
as far as it knew.
Yes. Do you want a drink?
No.
Okay. We should get on the train.
Yes, we should get on the train.
You might have to help me find the step.
It's
The step is directly in front of you.
it's your see where your foot is.
Yeah.
Lift up,
Yeah.
and now just sort of collapse forward.
But Sepsis the gap. What?
Yes, you should
What
mind
if
the
I
gap.
can't? What if I can't mind the gap?
Okay, here's what we're going to do. Lift your foot up.
Yeah.
Is it up?
Yeah.
Dice, you can hear this.
I just shove Oriana into the train.
Just stumble forward into the train.
I just sit there and go, what the fuck is happening? Out the door.
Okay. Where's our room?
Oriana, it's that one in front of you
This
with dice in it.
This one.
Yes, the one.
This one.
The door's open and dice is inside. You see,
I stick my
remember
sword.
Dice, your friend, lots of red hair.
Ah, Dice.
Kind of looks like she's in a Disney movie about a bear.
Where's your ball?
Hey, are you coming in?
Yes.
I don't know,
Yes.
I think we should possibly take Oriana to the bathroom and dunk her head under some water.
I'm fine.
You are not.
I've
Dice.
eaten. I'm fine.
Dice, you have seen Oriana this drunk before.
Yeah, she's probably okay, but she will need to sleep it off, I think, later.
Mm.
She can be drunker. She's been drunker.
I stumble into the room and then swing round and look at Fives' body. Did he lose weight?
Yeah, and gets taller. I think now Vizier might have issues with short ceilings.
Did he just stretch?
Pretty much, yeah.
Ah.
Like,
I didn't
Oh,
know they were so pliable.
Fives is happy.
Fives is happy.
Fives is happy.
Are you happy?
He's back with his children and the farm, and he's happy, and she starts bawling.
Okay, Ori. Okay, come here. And I'm gonna hug Ori and sort of pat her.
She's not reaching into my bag and pulling out more bottles. The train's expensive. I got bottles. Remy is very nice.
Remy?
Remy, he owns the Strumpet.
Remy Martin?
See, he works at the Strumpet.
The Strumpet?
It's a strip club.
You spent the day in a strip club.
Yeah, I made mad copper.
We've got like 1 million gold. Why would you need to make some copper?
You don't have 1 million gold.
I'll take some of that alcohol. I feel like I need to
I danced with a tambourine, and I made copper and some silver.
Do you have a tambourine?
I found one in the bar.
You do now. You look at your
I have
hip
caught
and
one.
you find.
I have one now.
It's got the bar logo on it.
Yeah, you didn't have
stole
one
it,
before, but you now have a tambourine
Tambourine with the bar logo and a
with the
picture,
brass
like,
trumpet on it. Yeah.
Remy's not observant.
Did you steal? You know what?
You look in another pocket. You've got an ashtray. You've got a commemorative beer
coasters.
glass.
There's a couple of glasses somewhere. Bearing in mind, I wear like 2 scraps of fabric as an outfit, and I'm just pulling stuff out every.
Pulls a vase out of her cleavage
Amazing what you can store in there.
with like a bunch of tulips in it.
And I think, and I just pull a wine glass out of my hair. There we go.
Actually, still got wine in it. Nothing spilled.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do with you, but I'm glad you're okay and that you've stopped crying. Now,
Help me buy an open window.
help you buy an Oprah window?
Help me buy an open window.
Okay.
And light my pipe. I should not be trusted with fire right now.
You're the only person who has fire. What do you want me to do? Electrocute it?
Well, let's see how this goes. Just light my hand on fire and try to light my pipe with it.
Oriana,
Yeah.
go to sleep.
I'm
And
so
I cast
flammable right
suggestion.
now.
You cast suggestion.
Yeah.
Okay.
I roll against it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the
Wisdom
DC?
save.
Wisdom save.
16.
Wisdom save. Is it 17?
Us.
So Oriana, in your drink-addled mind,
Going to be drug addled if I light this pipe.
in your drink-addled
Let
mind,
go.
you do know a spell has been cast on you, but almost the moment you realize the spell has been cast on you, you forget what a spell feels like and what it was supposed to do.
I just sit pointing at Sepsis and you. Sepsis fought a hag.
Sepsis fought what?
A hag.
Yeah, it is now dice that you look at Sepsis and you realize that their clothes are a little bit more torn than they were when they left.
Oh my gosh, Sepsis, are you okay?
I cast whatever it is.
Prestidigitation.
I said perception, prestidigitation. That's just me. That's not even going.
I cast precipitation. It rains.
Cast precipitation on Sepsis to like fix their clothes, but I accidentally turned their shirt like hot pink.
Ariana, I don't prefer this.
It's fixed.
It doesn't go with my skin tone.
It really does, though.
It does not.
If you ask her tomorrow, she'll probably fix it, but you won't get her to fix it tonight.
Sepsis can do the spell. It's easy.
I can do the spell.
If you keep it hot pink, you'll make Ariana happy.
If I change the color, she'll just change it back.
Yep.
I'll fix it when she's asleep.
I think that's
Okay.
probably a good idea, and I'm just going to cast Cure Wounds on Sepsis as a sort of a side thought, like put my hand on and cast Cure Wounds.
I'm really
managed-
okay.
I light my pipe and I just start blowing rings out constantly.
Yeah, you're okay, but you have 7 more hit points than you did.
Thank you very much.
Blow out the rings, and every time I blow one, I try to put my finger through it.
I'm now
Oh,
at 72 out of 87.
As the night progresses, then Oriana, I'm going to need you to make me a Constitution saving throw.
at some point, I want to go and see the humans, just so you know.
Mhm.
I'm surprised Dice didn't have more questions about the hag thing, to be fair.
I do.
Oh, no, this is you can have that conversation.
We're still
I'm
here.
just- I know. I'm just.
I love
You can have that
fun.
conversation. I'm just asking Oriana to roll a Constitution
So
saving.
23.
23.
Yeah.
Yeah, you ain't going to sleep for a while.
The room's spinning too much.
Oh, I've been there. Sepsis, Ori said that you killed a hag?
Sure did.
Where the hell did you find a hag?
Oh, I was just going for a walk to clear my head, and I saw it preying on a little girl. It was gonna eat her dreams, I think.
Yeah, I'm gonna need an insight check on that, Bri, but I'm pretty certain that Sepsis will win.
It's technically
Sepsis.
It's technically true.
Sepsis.
Some of it's true.
It's a little bit true.
Because some of it's true and some of it's a lie. You can choose what you'd
Oh,
like
I'm gonna
to
choose
roll.
deception.
Yeah, I thought you would.
Oh dear.
I'm gonna add Flash of Genius to it.
Yeah,
'cause-
let me know what you total.
yeah, I'm never gonna win. I don't know why I bother. 16.
Okay, well I rolled a 30.
Yeah.
Sorry, was that 13 or 13?
No, it wasn't. It was 30.
30. Okay.
Yeah. Just
Oh, yeah,
18
you-
plus
you-
12.
Absolutely believe sepsis.
Oh my gosh, that must have been so scary for you. Are you really okay? Are you sure? Is there anything I can do to help?
Yeah, it turns out I'm kind of a badass, and the hag died, and I'm fine. It's really not. It wasn't a thing.
A hag like a normal hag, or like
Like, remember the one we fought in the lake?
we all had a tough time with that one, and eventually we just stopped fighting, and then they portaled us.
Yeah, it was less. It was less of a badass than that one.
Okay, a hag light.
It was less of a badass than that one, wasn't it, Bri? Like Sepsis would remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, not only was it less of a badass than that one, it also didn't have a small force of Draugr attacking your rear.
Yeah.
Rauda?
Yeah.
Oh well, I suppose yeah, they were.
Yeah, yeah.
Undead Vikings doomed to
Rauda.
fight in the name of evil. Yeah, Draugr.
That's fair.
Yeah, no, it wasn't quite as dangerous as that one before. It seems to have been living here for quite some time. You know, feeding on the psychic energy of,
What
I
happened?
guess, people who live around here.
What happened to the little girl? Did you get her home okay?
She escaped.
She escaped, but she could still be out there wandering around on her own.
Was Sepsis the little girl?
Why would Sepsis be a little girl?
Well, Sepsis could have been a little girl before.
Yeah, but why would Sepsis be a little girl and then find a hag preying on a little girl? That doesn't make any sense, Oriana. Don't be daft.
No, I never mind.
I pat Oriana on the shoulder. Clear in the knowledge that I am correct and this is irrational.
I didn't
Did you know?
see where the girl went. I presume that she can't have been from too far away.
I hope she's okay. It must have been really scary for her. Sepsis, you were a bit of a
Presumably.
hero today then, huh?
Presumably.
Particularly if that hag had been preying on people for ages. I mean, that would really make you, like, a proper hero in this story. The good guy who saved them from a mass murderer.
Mm-hmm.
That's great! You must feel fantastic about that.
Hmm.
Would you like a drink to celebrate?
No.
You sure? You sometimes drink.
I am sure.
You don't want to end up like Oriana? Because she's having a great night.
Hi.
I do not want to end up like Oriana currently. I just want to get some sleep.
Nobody wants to end up like me.
It took a lot out of me, this fight.
Yeah, I bet it did. Here, let me help make you up a bed, and I'll very nicely go and like make your bed and set it all out for you. There you go, all ready.
You're being uncharacteristically solicitous.
You did something really nice.
I fill my mouth with smoke and I just lean back and then go choo choo as I let the smoke out.
It's
I'm the train.
You are a train, Ori. If you're uncharacteristically nice, maybe I'll be uncharacteristically nice to you.
I find it disturbing.
I find you disturbing. Go to sleep.
Thank you. That's much better.
I'm done now.
Okay.
I would also go and see the humans once I've dealt with Ori.
Mhm.
I know I've got one. I wander. As soon as you leave, I wander out of the room.
Okay.
Right. Do I see you leave?
No, you've
No.
gone. You went to the humans.
I think Ace would absolutely follow Oriana to make sure that she doesn't get in too much trouble.
Absolutely.
I think that's fair.
Oriana, where are you going?
To Natasha.
You're going to go see Natasha. Okay.
Yeah, Natasha.
Roll me an investigation check with disadvantage.
I love my dice tonight. It's 23.
With disadvantage?
Yep.
Jesus. Okay. Yeah. Even in your drink-fueled state, state.
I mean, we don't know what's in the pipe anymore. So.
Yeah, I don't know what's in the pipe. In your
Intoxicated.
adult state, the knowledge that you were never actually told what room or what carriage Natasha are in does not stop you. You wander up the train, calling their name
Natasha!
until very quickly, actually, a hand is closed over your mouth and you are pulled into a dark room by a red-headed elf.
Does Ace see that happen?
Yes, Ace sees that happen. But Ace also sees Natasha pop out of a room and drag Oriana into it.
Okay.
Until you are face to face with Natasha, who is saying, "Shut the fuck up!
She's
What are you doing?"
She's very, very drunk.
You think you're the only Natasha? Ace.
It's not that common a name. Quiet.
Okay. Is Lester still on the train?
Yes.
Yes. Cool. I turn around, look at the door number, and then send a message to Lester with just the room number.
Okay. You get a message back saying, "I was busy, but I'll be there in a moment."
Yeah. Ace, you might want to leave. You're muted.
Why?
Well, unless you want to turn this threesome into a foursome, I recommend you leave. Because shit about to go down.
Ace looks at Natasha.
There's a very calculating look on Natasha's face, and then she just smiles and goes, "I was not doing anything else in my night."
Ace blushes extraordinarily deeply and turns around and leaves.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell Dice if she wants to join us.
I won't.
And with that, then, as
I kick
Dice,
the door shut.
with that, then, Dice, as you make your nightly rounds of the human slave carriages, discovering that there are, in fact, now 4 more, and a new storage carriage at the back.
Yeah, the old one's gone.
Sepsis, are you just going to go to sleep for the evening?
No, if I'm alone in the carriage, I'll do some like identifying of some of these, alchemical identifying of some of these vials that I found.
Okay. I mean,
Are
it's
your eyes now black?
they are.
And none of us
No,
have
because-
noticed.
No, because I'm constantly casting disguise self on them.
Just as a thought, then it's an arduous process to identify these just using your alchemical supplies and your knowledge.
I'm using Flubber as well.
Oh, okay.
Flubber can help me.
Oh, very, very easy then. Very quick. Okay, I will.
This boy's floppy ears.
I will give you a list.
What are they doing that for?
However, instead of going through a list of poisons and potions, it is 3 minutes to 9. So, as you all pop off to bed, or someone else's bed, Oriana,
Floor, wall, window shelf.
we're going to leave it there as you all fall asleep and take to bed for the evening.
I did want to have a chat with some of the humans, but I'll do it when we come
Okay.
back.
No problem. So yes, as most of you then fall asleep and Dice, you go on your nightly rounds of the human slave carriages. We're going to take a break. We are going to be back in about 15 minutes. So say about 12 minutes, 13 minutes, or quarter past. Please don't go anywhere. If you do have to pop anywhere, please pop over to, you can see it in the chat, lokibattlemats.com and the Blink Dog Dice Etsy store to check out wonderful books of battle maps and fantastic math rocks at your leisure. Sorry, they are our sponsors for the evening, as they have been for most of the campaign so far now. So yes, please go check out their work. But other than that, don't go anywhere. We will be back in 15 minutes. See you in a bit.
Bye.
this interlude, how relieved is everyone that Sepsis survived? Oh, that's much worse. Now we're just showing the whole.
Hi, everyone.
Hello, everybody. And the answer is, I could go either way on it. I didn't mind if Sepsis died. That would have been really cool.
I know we're half Zoom, half. Oh, we've got to fit Barry back in. He's a problem child.
Yeah.
This will probably annoy AD.
Don't do it, Greg.
Are you moving yourself again?
Too late. I've done it.
He did the hand raising thing. It corrects itself afterwards, though, Aid. You don't have to move anything. It will correct itself.
It's all.
It's done it. It's done it. It's done it. It's done.
We're very professional.
Are we back?
We are back.
Cool.
Yeah, we're back. We never went away.
So, welcome back to episode 60 of Chronicles of Nidum, run by us here at Dice of the Holder, and streamed through. To be fair, we cause him more problems than he causes us. Heavyweight Gaming. Yes, so I'm gonna murder those dogs, I swear to God. But yes, where we left off, Oriana trying to negotiate their way through a threesome. Sepsis trying to work out what potions or poisons had been looted from the hag's house. Ace looking after everyone, and Dice making their way on their nightly rounds to bring aid and increase sustenance to the humans and the slave carriages at the back. So there are now 7 slave carriages. In the new 4 carriages, predominantly, the slaves inside are men. There are a few women. They all appear to be between the age of 20 to 30. Strapping specimens, prime of their life, all strong. All of their skin is sun-kissed, calloused hands. These are laborers, workers, strong, every one of them, but as you can see, chained and put behind bars on their way to press.
So based on the addition of the extra carriages, I'm going to use create food and water twice. Because I sort of think I have to. I won't be able to do that every night, but for the first night, I will.
Cool.
I'm going to visit the carriages I know best. First, I haven't really spoken to them since we broke the train.
Mm-hmm.
So this will be the first time I go in, not invisible, with the helmet off, but as human in armor. But I'm going to go to the storage carriage first, do create food and water, and then start back at the beginning and work my way through.
Okay.
The carriages on my way down. And I just want to say to them as we go along, hi, sorry about all the noise the other day. I hope everyone's okay. We didn't mean to scare you. And see if any of them will actually talk to me.
One of the older gentlemen from one of the first carriages, in fact, you recognize him as one of the first ones to come forward and take food from you on all of the nights that you've been doing this. Kind of steps forward. We did have an inkling that something had happened. The scarred elf with his 2 metal men, they dragged the woman down there, and you came back covered in ash from a fire. He did not return, and there was an almighty crash, and the train, it felt a little lighter.
I mean, that's one way to word it, for sure.
So when the guards came and they asked us questions, of course, none of us saw a thing.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It takes a lot of bravery in the situation you find yourselves in to keep a secret for us.
As you have said, none of us saw anything. There is nothing to thank us for.
Fortunately, humans like ourselves often get overlooked as much as anything else, and people assume we're stupid, which I think is to our advantage when we are not seeing things.
You are a beautiful and strong young woman. I
Oh,
very much doubt if anyone could ever overlook you.
ah. I am fortunately overlooked all the time, but mostly when I want to be.
If I ever find myself on the other side of these bars, I have a son about your age. If you are not attached, he's quite clever and unwed.
Thank you, but I have a non-human girlfriend.
Ah, oui.
But I am sure that your son would have been a wonderful person to meet had I had the chance before I met my partner.
He's not well traveled. I wouldn't have said there was much in the way of conversation, but the women of the village seem to enjoy his company. So,
I have no doubt. Are the children getting enough food?
the children get the lion's share. They are strapping, growing boys and girls. They get more than us, but what we get is very little, if not for the extra that you give us of an evening.
I do my best. I might not be able to do it every day to the same extent with the addition of the other 3 carriages, but I will ensure that the women and children get the lion's share of what I have to give.
You are something of a folk hero among the humans in this carriage. You are known as L'Agent d'Earn.
Okay, Dice would know what you just said. Millie doesn't.
The Iron Angel.
That's far too kind. I am not so special. I am just doing what little I can to help when I find myself in a more fortunate situation than you.
I, for one, and everyone in these carriages will be hard pressed to side with you in that argument. You are special to us.
Thank you. That's ridiculously kind. I'm not very good at taking compliments. Most of the group I travel with are all very strong, and my best friend has always been the most beautiful person in any room. It is unusual for the focus to be on me, and I'm not sure how I feel about it, but thank you.
You're welcome.
Is there anything else that you do need? Extra blankets? Anything that I would be happy to steal from the elves for you? I'm cool with this.
The only thing we needed would be a miracle.
Well, you know, I would say don't give up hope. Look at the girl who was dragged down the train. I suspect at that moment she had lost all hope, and then somehow the train fell apart and we don't know what happened, but then she was free.
There are too many of us. But thank you for the idea that we can hope again.
Never give up hope. A short time ago, I had no knowledge of anything in this world. And we're doing okay, and people's fortunes can change.
I will hold on to a sliver of hope then.
What's your name?
My name?
Yeah.
My name is Matan.
Hi, Mata. I am Dice. It's nice to meet you.
Likewise.
I should get on with my evening feeding everyone, but I appreciate your terrible vision. It's a real affliction. You should see someone about that.
Oui. Unfortunately, the medical care for humans in Shalem is not what it should be. Perhaps I would have seen more if they had looked after us better.
You know, that's a good point. And also, our vision is notoriously terrible in the dark.
I will remember not to suggest it to my new master.
Are you, where are you intended for from here?
We have not been told, but there are games, festivals going on in Paris. We will be traded. I think the new stock in the rear. There is a possibility that they will be for the games themselves. Unfortunately, they will possibly, very few of them will survive.
Let us hope then, as I am going to visit them next, and you have all been very short-sighted, let us hope that they are as short-sighted to my presence.
Word of Longialdion has spread.
That's both flattering and horribly embarrassing.
They are, I believe, expecting you.
Also horribly embarrassing. Thank you, Matan. I will go be embarrassed than that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I will walk down through the storage carriage then.
Mhm.
Being a bit unsure about the presence of guards in the latter carriages, I will stick my head around the door first.
Okay. Roll me a perception check.
But I'm really bad at them.
Okay.
I'm going to cast guidance.
Okay.
Yeah, and it is a good thing that I did. Guidance is a D4, isn't it? It's been a while since I had a legitimate reason to roll one. Oh, well, that's better. Let's just hope for the best. 13.
13.
Yeah.
Okay. As you look down then, there are more guards this time in the storage carriage. And they seem to be a lot more alert than the two that were previously guarding the storage carriage, which no longer exists. They're also wearing a very familiar uniform. And it is the uniform of the lowest rank Inquisitors that got on the train and took up residence in his carriage.
Wait, the storage carriage isn't between the old people and the new ones, is it?
No, storage carriage right at the back. But you said
Yeah,
storage carriage. Yeah.
Guards in the. I was checking for guards in the line.
Oh, no, there are none. Sorry, in the new slave carriages.
Yeah.
There are none.
Okay.
And I won't make you roll perception when you eventually get to the rear storage carriage, because now you know what's there.
Is there a water barrel anywhere along the carriages? I would assume that they would.
Yeah, there are a couple of them, so they don't have to be transported all the way from the storage carriage to the back. Yeah.
Fine. Then I would actually have no reason to go into the storage carriage because I would set up food and water.
Then there is nothing in the storage carriage, and you have no idea what's there.
I am oblivious and never cast guidance. In which case, I will stick my head into the first new slave carriage, and sort of go, "Hello."
Ah, L'Angel d'Ion.
That's that's a horribly embarrassing name I've been given, don't you think?
We could think of another one. Something brighter, larger.
No. Just that girl who drops off food is cool. I don't need anything more elaborate than that. That's all very, very embarrassing.
Not good enough. No.
Yeah, have some bread.
They take the food from you happily.
I give them what I can, but I have left the lion's share for the women, children, and elderly in the previous one. So
they understand, and you can see them breaking it out and sharing it evenly between themselves.
I will make my way down quietly and sort of say hello to everyone in all their things. But as I get closer to the storage carriage, on the basis that I assume there are people there.
You assume there are 4 Inquisitorial guard in uniform. Yeah, okay.
I'm not assuming that, but I'm assuming there are guards in the storage carriage based on our performance and our the damage we did last time we were here. And as I'm on my way back up, I'll say, I try and do this every evening. However, with so many more mouths to feed, I can't guarantee it. And I have to prioritize the more vulnerable. I hope that you understand. But I will deliver food when I can.
Of course, we are happy to receive anything you can give. If you cannot, then it is no skin off our nose. It was not expected anyway when we got on this train, but thank you for the little you can spare.
I think humans should have higher expectations of what they should be entitled to. I really do.
I believe those were beaten out of our great-grandparents, so no.
Yeah, that's really depressing. Are you intended for the fighting games?
I believe so, we.
How do you feel about that?
Well, we have been told we will be rewarded with a modicum of freedom if we are successful. We volunteered for this. If we did not volunteer, then people would have been just taken from our villages and farms from around the Jardin. So we volunteered.
Your families must be so concerned for you.
Our families are safer because of our sacrifice.
Yeah. Thank you for your time talking to me. I appreciate it.
No problem.
Before I walk out, I'm going to pull the helmet over fully to cover my face and turn into the automaton. And then I will walk out the door because, you know, showmanship is fun.
Okay.
And I'll walk back to the room and go, Ace, where's Ori?
Ace is just gonna blush and Ari went looking for friends.
I think Ori should be glad that she is not a man. That much alcohol would have really impaired her ability to function. And I will go to bed. Now I'm done.
Sepsis.
Hello.
Are you looking at the vials or the bulbous jars first?
Bottles first. The gels.
Okay, so the smaller vials, the 10, not the 15, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, you know me. I love anything bulbous.
Okay. So hang on, the bulbous ones, the 15 bulbous bottles, not the smaller vials first. Which ones are you looking at?
The larger bottles, yeah.
Okay. Now, the larger bottles are the ones that are more varied in color, in composition, in what is in the bottle. The larger one looks like, if you hold it from the top, an upside down bulb, and is seemingly empty, a lot heavier than it should be, and is glowing.
Mm-hmm.
Like the light fills the room. You manage, which do you look at? Do you find out what's in that one?
Yeah, that would be probably the one I would prioritize.
Okay, so you go for that one first. When you take Flubber out, a small section or a small tendril you can see kind of slipping its way past the stopper at the top. There is a spark.
Mm-hmm.
It takes his tendril back and communicating with you again telepathically. Lightning blood.
Uh-huh.
Using then your alchemical knowledge, I'd like you to make me a alchemy check.
Okay. So is that adding my intelligence and
intelligence plus proficiency bonus?
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay,
Because you got the tools.
23.
Okay. Looking at the composition of the flask then, and with Flubber's intuitive knowledge as well, this is a lightning grenade. It is made from the blood of a storm giant. It is effectively encapsulated lightning. It is stoppered lightning. One use only. And it will
It's not
explode upon
not
impact.
one of those reusable grenades then.
Not one of those. It does have the returning property. So you throw it, it just comes back. No, that'd be good. But no, it is a lightning grenade. It's not poisonous, but it is composed of the blood of a storm giant and other properties to turn it effectively into a gas. It will do 5d8 lightning damage on impact in a 20-foot radius.
Tasty.
The next one, you look at.
Shocking discovery, Stuart says.
You see in the bottle, as you swirl it around, there is coarse, thick hair mixed up in a glutinous grey mass. And you see what you think is a large brown section of maybe toenail. Even without Flubber's help, with your writings from your alchemy work previously, not so much in the way of potions, but more in poisons. But even you can work out from the color, from the composition, from the ingredients. This is very probably a potion of hill giant strength. The next one is scarlet in color. At least the liquid inside is. Looks, for all intents and purposes, like a healing potion. However, you've seen healing potions. You've also seen this. Your master made it before. This is a potion of, as your master called it on one of his more lucid days, a potion of anti-healing, or a poison instead of a potion. It does effectively exactly the same amount of damage as a superior healing potion would heal. But it looks so much like a superior healing potion that you could give it to someone and they wouldn't know the difference.
That's cool.
There are a few more. You see one that looks effectively like black tar, smells acrid and of acid. It is a slow-acting poison that effectively does poison damage, potentially an exhaustion, depending on the saving throw, and also acid damage over time for 1 minute. But it must be ingested. It activates after 1 minute of ingestion and then does damage for 1 minute.
Cool. Would it be best if you sort of?
I will.
I'm
going to be sending them and adding them to your equipment list. Up
Cool.
until the point where dice comes back and you hear dice coming back up the carriage, these are the 3, or did I say 4, that you can get your head round at the moment, using just any basic alchemy checks and Flubber's help. The rest of them look to be probably a little bit more complicated, and I'm going to need a check for each one. Okay.
Okay. Yep.
But yeah, so you've got those 4. I will add them to your equipment list once I finish homebrewing the last one, and you will have them by the next time you need them. Or if you want to use them in the rest of the session, I can just tell you what the damage is.
I see. Yeah.
But yeah, so dice gets back just as you begin to put all of your alchemy equipment away. And you have returned dice. Is everyone going to bed?
Yeah, just as I get into bed though, I'm just gonna think to my God.
Okay.
I hope I'm doing everything okay. If you need me to do anything else, you're really gonna have to be more specific. Thanks. And then I'm gonna go to sleep.
You imagine that you can hear a chuckle as you finish speaking, and it's a bright, happy sound, and it does kind of fill you with a sense of frustrated comfort. like you've asked a good friend to explain something to you, or they've told you there's a surprise in store and you've asked what it is and ranted and raved because they won't tell you what the surprise is, but they just smile knowingly and walk off with a chuckle.
After the chuckle, then I'll just respond, I don't even know why you like me anyway. Human, not a gnome. Then I'll go to sleep and stop talking. Yes.
The next morning, then, the first to wake is in fact Oriana. Roll me a con saving throw, Ori.
Oh,
And take scissoring damage.
Ew.
no, that's this.
25.
25.
My con is +8.
You are shaken awake, gently, and you open your eyes to the brightness of dawn, but feel like you brace yourself for the oncoming horror that will be your hangover. Nothing seems to hit. And you kind of warily open your eyes wider, and you see Natasha nowhere to be found. You are in a strange room. You're assuming hers. She's not there, but all of the things are. The person who shook you awake is Luster. Luster now standing before you as the beautiful elven woman that she was when you first saw her, fully dressed and carrying a travel pack.
Good morning.
Good morning. I have people in the city who have, or in the town at least of Jardin, that have told me the Inquisitor is acting very strangely. He's going east instead of south, not making his way straight to Paras. So I must possibly think my people could be close by. If he is going to some secret country retreat, perhaps that is where they are being kept.
You're
So I
going to
will
follow him.
I will follow him overland, yes.
We'll be safe, because I can't follow you now.
Well, I should be safer. The only one who would potentially see my true form was dealt with quite handily by some new and very effective friends of mine. At least I hope I can call them friends.
Of course you can.
I may have said this before, but it is strange that in the owing of favors, in a deal or otherwise, it is strange that I am the one with the owing, that I am not the one benefiting from the deal. However,
I'm really sorry, guys. 2 seconds. Somebody's screaming out in the street.
What else would you do?
That is a dog.
oh,
It's
I
a
could-
dog.
I could
What,
hear it
just
in the
hanging out
background.
in the street?
Just screaming.
But like the dog's just on the road.
Well, I can't see it, but when you listen closely, you can you realize it's a dog.
Okay.
Go check if you want.
Yeah, I'm gonna go check. I'll be back.
Yeah. Go check for sad dogs.
Anyway,
So, but I want you to know that I owe you all a favor. Combined favor, not separately. I do not think that if I ever manage to return to the Nine Hells, they would look kindly on me owing a separate favor for one. It's a whole thing.
it's fine. It's fine. Really. Don't worry about it. You be safe.
I have survived for a very long time on my own. You have removed a very difficult problem thorn in my side. The Inquisitor should now be much easier to track.
Okay. The train should be leaving soon.
In a few moments, yes. I will look out for Rosette or something.
Yes. Yeah.
I will make sure she survives the trip.
Thank you.
It was good meeting you, Oriana.
And you. Safe travels, Lester.
In Paras, one last thing.
Mhm.
In Paras, if you are visible, there is someone there who will find you. He will make you a great many promises, and he will have a great many answers to some of your questions. They are not secrets for me to divulge. It is not my place. Do not...
The fox, by the way, in case anyone was wondering.
Oh,
Do not
that makes
trust...
sense.
Do not trust everything he says. Though you will, or you may wish to.
We'll
Good
see.
luck.
You too.
And she
Oh,
steps.
you didn't happen to see where Natasha went, did you?
No.
No,
She
that's
disappeared
fine.
like a shadow.
Thank you. Yeah, bye.
Goodbye. And Lester steps off the train.
Yeah.
I start trying to find my clothes. I think this scrap of fabric's mine. I get dressed and I head back to the room.
Okay. So it doesn't take long then. Well, okay, you head back to the room. You find then Dice and Sepsis waking. And as you get back to the room, there is loud noises, commotion outside.
It's a fox.
So what sounds like whistles, shouts, and very slowly but surely, the train does begin to move through the station and out into the countryside once more. Boss.
Hello. Yes.
It is now a good time.
Oh, yes.
Because I thought, I don't... It wasn't a good time yesterday.
Yeah, no, I was fighting for my life yesterday, but now I'm just sitting here.
Oh. You won then.
So it would appear.
Well done.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
What's going on in the carriage?
Yeah. It was the thing that they did. It was the controls and how to detach and attach trains. The thing you told me to look out for.
Yes.
Now, I'm pretty sure I had it down yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
But I've slept since then.
Did I tell you to sleep?
No. But I don't know if you know how exhaustion works, right? But if you don't recover from it, eventually you die.
I could just re-summon you.
Oh yeah, good point. Right, okay. Roll me a intelligence check for Womb, please.
Yeah. Well, that's just a flat roll. 19.
19. Okay, nice. Right, and Womb then describes to you in adequate detail, with your own investigations and your own time spent watching the controls and how they work. The added detail from Womb helps you a great deal, and you feel you would be you're very happy with your expectation of how the controls would work for you, how to detach, how to detach them slowly, detach them quickly. You're pretty certain you've worked out how this train runs and all parts of it.
Okay. I'm going to call Dice over.
Okay.
Huh?
Dice, I have information that I think you might be best placed to interpret.
Okay. What's up?
Do you have paper and pencils, pens, something to make marks?
Yeah, hang on. And I'll pull it out of my bag and sit down looking like super studious, but also like I'm still asleep. Ready.
So I'm going to attempt to sort of sketch out as much of the controls as I can for Dice. Obviously, I can just refer back because I can like look at them
Yeah.
through Worm and then sketch them down. And I'm going to try and like point out as much as I can what does what and how you control the train.
Yeah. And it's effective. It's especially with the added benefit of being able to see them as you describe them. And with Dice's then natural artistry, it's not difficult to convey that knowledge, and you get a pretty good idea as well then, Dice, of, in fact, with your insights then as an artificer, there are certain like buttons and crystals and dials that Sepsis doesn't then quite know what it is, but with your intuition you can work out what they might be for as well. So yeah, between you now have a very good understanding of exactly how this train works.
The ones I intuit, I will label and like have everything like a little schematic of the controls by the end.
Okay.
That makes me happy. I will expect you to draw that for next session, Richard.
Yeah, in a nice like cross-hatched sepia, like Da Vinci Notebook sort of style.
Battle maps for fights, everything else is theater of the mind.
Okay, so this looks pretty good. We've got a good understanding of how to run the train. And we can detach carriages from here using these buttons, you said?
This, and this, to do it slowly. But then there's this one over here, and if you do that and then pull there, then that detaches them very suddenly.
So that would be our best bet. We do the distraction, and at the same time, one of us, me or you, or me and you, goes and detaches the carriages.
Yeah, or possibly if we can incapacitate the goblins, then Worm could do it even.
But if we're already done the...
I didn't say Worm.
No, I got that. I figured. Yeah. I jumped on it when Sepsis was drunk.
Creature.
Okay, I mean, if we're going to take out the goblins, we're going to be there anyway, so we may as well just push the button.
Sure.
We just need to work out what to do as a distraction big enough and which of us is going to go and incapacitate the goblins and push the button.
The bigger problem is the Inquisitor, the Inquisition types are in the carriage, one before the engine. Incapacitating them might be a bigger problem than incapacitating the... To be honest, the train running goblins are such that I think they might incapacitate themselves given long enough.
I guess the question is, do we actually need a distraction, or can we somehow sneak in, drop the goblins, detach the carriages, and hope no one notices? They didn't really notice immediately when we broke the carriage. It took them... they wouldn't have noticed immediately had the goblins not told them, right? You said that.
Mm-hmm.
And even then, it wasn't instant. It took a bit of time for them to be like, something's broken.
That's true.
So, although I do think then we have the issue that I think there's going to be guards in the storage carriage, and there's a storage carriage. So it goes slave carriages, and then there's a storage carriage right on the end. They've put a new one on. And I suspect that is now guarded after our little escapades before.
I would have thought Natasha would be able to do something about them.
So we team up, Natasha, because Natasha wanted to get off with the slave carriages anyway. So if we detach them with Natasha in them, and she deals with the inquisitorial types down that end, and we sneak in the other way, incapacitate the goblins.
It's very possible that we could just take over the running of this train without anyone noticing.
That's what I was thinking, yeah. Rather than doing a big distraction, and then we get away being seen less. Nobody will know what happened to the goblins in there. And the Inquisitor might even kill his own guards for being incompetent.
I like it.
It's always better to not get caught, right, Sepsis?
Yes.
I mean,
And it still gets us to Paras on time, perhaps more importantly.
it would give Natasha slightly less time to get the slaves out of the carriages, but really that's kind of her problem at that point, I think.
Doesn't it give her more time to do that?
It depends how long it takes anyone to notice that something's gone wrong. If there's a guard shift change, maybe. Oh, I can find out. I have a friend. I can find out how many guards there are and how often the shifts change tonight.
Also, if they try to change shifts after the carriages have detached, that might be a good opportunity to,
If we kill them, then
like, then
they work
then
for that dickhead.
they won't notice after that because of they'll be dead.
How many inquisitorial guards are there on this train now? Do we reckon?
Do we have any way of knowing who's taken over the Inquisition carriage?
We saw
From what you saw, getting onto the carriage and taking over from the Inquisitor, there were 8. But you didn't stick around long enough to find out if any more came on after that. You saw 8.
So, theoretically, how many are in the carriage outside? How fast can a creature travel through the train?
It takes a while to do it stealthily because he has to wait for people to open doors.
Well, one of us could walk up, but no, I suppose he wouldn't be able to look into rooms. I'm just thinking we can work out exactly how many are where, based on the fact that I have no idea how many are in the storage carriage, which is irritating now.
I bet Natasha would be very good at finding out that sort of information.
Yeah,
And we do still have days of travel to find out.
How long do we have right now?
Just under 2 weeks.
That's enough time. So we do some recon and we see if we can do this quietly. Yeah, which would be novel for us, I think.
Yeah.
Branching out, trying something new, not breaking a train.
I like it a lot.
I think it's
Except for the bit where we don't crash the train. I would have preferred to crash the train. Full disclosure. I was quite excited about crashing a train.
If one day in the future we get the chance to crash another train, you are the first person we will send up.
That doesn't sound like it's going to happen.
Do you do potions and such, right? Do you have anything that could maybe make the goblins sleep?
For how long?
Long enough for us to get in and push the button, and long enough to keep them unconscious for a substantial amount of time.
No. I specialize in a bit longer than that.
Could you make anything that could make them sleep?
I could make something that could make them dead.
You froze at the best time then, that was great.
I could make something that could make them dead.
Why are we trying to keep the goblins alive?
Because they haven't really done anything wrong. And remember that weird moral thing I have where I don't like killing non-evil people?
Well, I mean, so the minimum amount of killing we could do is if we don't involve ourselves in this at all and just let Natasha try and save the humans.
Well, no, because Natasha's version was actually to only save the women and children, and the men would still go to the place. So,
but
really,
we wouldn't have to kill anyone.
But
it's a trolley problem, you see.
We would be causing a lot more death that way.
Not causing. No, we would like the death is going to happen with or without us, so we would just be neutral.
Okay, look at it another way then. If we kill them, we are definitely found out. At some point, somebody will figure out that this was a deliberate attempt, not incompetence. If we knock them out through either potions or magic or smacking them over the back of the head, when they wake up, maybe it was just the goblins being incompetent, particularly if we stage it right.
Now, I like a good yarn, but I'm confused about how you think that's going to happen. So you think that we're going to get to Paras, the goblins will have been unconscious for some period of time. Some of the Inquisition guards will have died, and a bunch of carriages will be gone. And people are just going to assume that the goblins are so incompetent that they detached some of the carriages, kept the train going at the same speed, and killed some guards?
All right, fair point. Can we not just tie them up, stuff a rag in their face, and make sure they can't identify us?
What if we just throw them off the train and then maybe they live?
Maybe they live, maybe they die.
Who knows? It will be out of our hands. That's between them and the ground.
I mean, we could just smack them over the back of the head. That you said they don't look that strong. We could just smack them over the back of the head and tie them up and leave them in a corner. They'd be okay.
But then they will have seen us.
No, we do it from behind. Bonk.
There's three.
All right. Bonk,
Let's-
bonk, bonk.
I've got an idea. Let's wait and see how it pans out.
You're going to kill them and throw them off the train, aren't you?
Most likely, yes.
At least I voiced my concerns, I guess.
And they're noted.
Thanks. I'll find out tonight how many guards.
It's not the fool that kills you, it's sepsis. That's very good, Brian. I'd give you inspiration if I could.
Yeah, tonight I will have a chat with the humans who have a nickname for me, by the way.
Oh, what are they calling you?
The Iron Angel?
I feel like I've heard something like that somewhere before.
Yeah, I'm a bit distressed by it. I'm not sure how I feel about it. They've decided I'm some sort of folk hero, sepsis. I just wanted to give them food. You're
Well,
probably the wrong person to appreciate this.
I've got to be honest, no one's ever thought of me as any kind of folk hero, I don't think.
That little girl you saved probably does.
Hmm.
I mean, she probably thinks you're the biggest, baddest hero in the world.
It was very incidental. I just happened to be there. I didn't go out looking for people to save.
No, and I'm sure that's absolutely true. But to that little girl, you are a hero, sepsis. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise, okay?
It's true, I am the only reason she continues to exist.
See? There you go. I'm gonna go find some breakfast. And I'm going to wander out, but I'm going to turn. Oh, I can have a long rest.
You can all have a long rest. But
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Seems like a good idea.
Yeah,
Mhm.
great idea for you.
I'm gonna say I was heading back towards the room and then decided to go and get breakfast instead.
Okay.
Yeah, fine. I will cast Disguise Self, and I'm going to go on the basis that Ace might not fancy breakfast.
Okay.
I'm going to go in Ace's Durgar form to go and get breakfast.
Okay.
I'll bring back food for Ace and one.
Okay.
There you go.
Converging on the breakfast carriage, then you find that their faces have changed a great deal. There is a familiar Durga already in there, nursing the same tankard. Not quite sure whether it's the same drink or whether they've moved at all in the last week. Apart from that, though, there are a great deal more half-orcs, a few tieflings traveling. The Dragonborn is still there, but it is a lot more packed than you are used to. There's a lot more people that got on in Jardem than there were Kalas. It is easy to get lost in the crowd, but you do eventually bump into each other in the breakfast queue.
I would have realised there would have been new people getting on, and new faces would be fine, and I'd actually be going as a pink tiefling. Yeah. That's fine.
Okay.
I'll spot Ori and go, morning.
Morning.
Morning. How was your evening?
Do I know? Dice.
Breakfast time.
Yeah, I've never seen you as a tiefling before.
You have.
All right. I had a great night. Great. Good night.
Do you remember all of it?
There wasn't many lights on. So what I remember is mostly touch.
Well, that sounds like an enjoyable evening.
I remember telling Ace to tell you that you were welcome to join, but
I suspect Sarahesh might have a problem with that. I might never see her again, so now I'm celibate. But, that's cool.
oh god.
Right?
No.
Oh, you look genuinely horrified.
Hey, look, I went all that time without, and it was horrible.
I think I've gone
I
long.
thought I'd lost my taste for it.
You had a threesome last night, and one of them was a succubus. I think you're probably good.
Yeah, no, the succubus cures all.
I'm not sure most people feel that way about them.
Gotta say,
Probably not.
I definitely think an asexual person playing Oriana is a bit like Neil Patrick Harris playing Barney from How I Met Your Mother. I like it a lot.
I like it a lot.
Yes. Oh, that's the perfect comparison. I love that.
I actually did ask Ace where you were, and they just turned this color, and I point to a piece of red fabric. Like, seriously, their entire face. It went halfway down into their armor. I could.
Yeah, I remember vaguely telling him that they're telling them that they either needed to head back to the carriage or turn it into a foursome. Similar color.
Ori, their arms were blushing.
Oh, bless them.
I didn't even know that was possible until I saw it. It was spreading. It looked like they had a rash.
Speaking of, have you seen Natasha? Because she wasn't there when I woke up. Lester's gone. She got off the train. She's gone to follow, stick up his ass.
I know.
But yeah, she wasn't there this morning.
No idea. Ace did say that you wandered down the carriages yelling, Natasha!
Yeah, that kind of need to apologise. Although I think some of the things I did last night was an apology.
So send them a message and ask where they are, or where she is. You don't want to seem needy, though,
Yeah. I also just not that bothered.
All right. Well, I'm bothered because we need her for the planned sepsis I came up with, which I will absolutely fill you in on, but not here.
Obviously.
Oh, I made some new friends last night. Different to your friends.
Who?
Well, I went back to the places I usually visit in the evening.
Right.
And I met a very nice old man who tried to give me who tried to set me up with his son. That was
fair.
Good. And then I discovered that, do you know this train's 3 carriages longer than it used to be? 4 carriages longer. Well,
all right. When it was longer than it was shorter, is it longer than it was before it got shorter?
Yes.
So that one that went away, is now back, but 3 more.
Oh, it's got friends.
It's got friends, but not storage. But they're all full of very eligible humans looking to go into the fighting pits.
Oh, great.
Which is where humans should be, really. In pits for our entertainment.
Yeah, obviously my disgust is at the fact that there's more humans on this train.
Obviously, right? Hey, look, eggs.
No one seems to be paying any attention to you.
Oh no, I think we're just pissing about with each other at this point.
They're all very hungry.
We know no one's listening. We're just...
Sepsis, what are you
Hello.
doing?
What am I doing? I'm just sort of chilling in the carriage.
Okay.
I might do some reading.
Okay.
Ace
Probably makes sense to do some reading.
Ace is still in the carriage.
Mm-hmm.
Ace is sleeping off their trauma.
Okay. Is that what you're going to do for the rest of the day?
Well, I mean, if anything else comes up, I'm not married to the idea.
Okay. But you're going to read the book.
I'll spend some time reading the book, and I'll also spend some time identifying bottles.
Okay. Which one do you want to do first?
Let's do some bottles.
Okay, cool. I'm going to need you to roll me then. Well, roll me 2 alchemy checks.
Do I get any advantage on the basis of flubber, or is it just like...
You can have advantage because of flubber, yeah.
Okay, cool. 2 alchemy checks coming up.
I forgot about Flubber.
That is 17 on the first one.
Mm-hmm.
And the next one is just a 15.
Okay. 17 on the first one.
Mhm.
Cool. When this... Sorry, when it decides it wants to work. There we go. Okay. The first one that you find is another potion of poison, same as the other one. It's a much, well, it's slightly lower. This is 3d6 poison damage. With the con save of 13. Basically, 13 saving throw, or they are poisoned, and at the start of each of their turn, basically each of their turn for... So they take 3d6 poison damage instantly. At the start of each of their turns, then, they're poisoned in this way, they take 3d6 poison damage again. At the end of each of their turns, they can repeat a saving throw. The poison ends, basically, well, on a successful save, the poison damage they take on their subsequent turn decreases by 1d6. They are not poisoned. They just take less poison damage on their next turn.
Right.
The poison actually only stops damaging them once they save enough to decrease it to 0.
Right.
So it lasts, the poison lasts effectively forever if they don't...
Until they make
until
like
they
3
make enough
saves.
saves.
Yeah.
There we go. And the second one, sorry, I'm losing my voice. I do apologize.
It's all right. I mean, we did some of this stream with no sound. I'm sure we can continue.
True. There we go. Sorry about this. Very sorry about this. There we go. The second one is you needed Flubber's help less with this one because you were actually familiar with it. You did at some point have, I believe, or harvest some of this and have it on you. This is a much more potent form of wyvern poison. A creature subjected to this poison, either applied to a weapon or ingested, basically must make a 15 DC Constitution saving throw, or take 7d6 poison damage on a failed save, or half as much.
Bloody hell, 76 poison damage.
7d6. This is not turning into another million gold debacle.
Can't wait for someone to take 76 poison damage.
7 6-sided dice of poison damage.
All of the numbers on the 6-sided dice. What's that up to? It must be a lot.
But yes, ingested or applied to a weapon or ammo.
I think the answer is 21. I think no. Okay. Yeah, 21. I think it adds up to 21.
And after identifying those two, do you want to keep going for some more, or would you like to read
Spend
some
some
more?
time reading after that.
Okay. How long have you got left on the book?
That's a good question. Let me check. 9 hours.
Okay. Oriana and Dice. You spend a while in the dining carriage, eating your food, chatting amicably as friends would. Strangely more comfortable. The Inquisitor's gone. No one on the train seems to be suspicious of you. Until you both see a familiar figure start to stalk down the carriage towards you and immediately pull up a chair. It is Natasha in their half-orc form.
Good morning, darling.
Morning.
Hello, I heard you had a wonderful evening.
Just pour them some calf, some coffee. Calf? Oh, coffee.
Yeah.
It was eye-opening.
You shouldn't
Yeah.
in your eye. It's bad for you.
Our friend has left.
She did say
Mm.
those are her plans after you passed out. I'm glad that you woke up early enough to say goodbye.
I'm going to pretend to be flirtatious, which Dice isn't very good at, and just put my hand on her arm, the half-orc, and just go, you should stop by our carriage later. We'd love to spend some time with you.
Come to my carriage. Now's as good a time as any.
Certainly.
Okay.
Stands up, walks back towards first class.
I take the coffee with me.
I literally grab 3 pieces of bacon and go on my way out.
You can see a lot of the people are now staring after the half-orc with the 2 tiefling attendants quite jealously. But eventually you get into the quiet of Natasha's carriage, and as she turns, the half-orc guise is gone. And you can just see Natasha standing there.
Yeah, I drop back to Dice.
Yeah, I dropped mine as well. Like, oh.
The Inquisitor is gone.
Asshole.
There is potentially not replaced with potentially something worse.
So, Sepsis and I had an idea. You'll have to tell me what you think. Our plan is to essentially disconnect the train with the minimum of bloodshed. And the minimum
You said you and your friend Sepsis had this plan.
Yeah.
With the minimum of bloodshed.
How much did you have to argue with Sepsis that we can't crash the train?
It sounds like you had this plan.
No, some of it was wholly Sepsis's idea. Sepsis isn't wholly bloodthirsty. Sepsis saved a little girl last night. From a hag.
Sepsis was the little girl last night.
What? Why would Sepsis be a little girl?
Because Sepsis turned into a little girl before with us.
Right, but
That's
Sepsis...
just their disguise.
Yeah, but Sepsis said they found a little girl with a hag, and the little girl ran off, and then Sepsis...
Yeah, okay, fine.
Why would Sepsis be a little girl? Nonsense.
Because your height doesn't change when you're in disguise self.
I wasn't there. It's not like anyone saw it. Sepsis was completely genuine when they were speaking to me. I believe them.
That's fine. I might be misremembering. I was quite drunk.
You were a little...
You know that Kermit the Frog sipping tea? None of my business.
So your plan?
Yeah. Do you know how many of the Inquisitor's guards are in the, or who is guarding the storage carriage at the end of the slave carriages now?
There are 4.
Okay, and how many are there total?
12.
How many could you kill easily?
Alone?
Yeah.
In a pitched battle or stealthily?
Stealthily.
All of them.
There's 4 in a room, so...
All of them.
Well, you probably don't need to do that necessarily. But the concept is, Sepsis and I now have full understanding of how to take over control of the train. Sepsis actually is the one who got the information and gave it to me, which was super helpful. So we think we can get down to the front of the train
Da.
without being caught. Probably kill both of the goblins who are driving the train.
There are 3.
3, 2, it's really not a big deal either way.
Very well.
And then we can detach the train carriages.
At speed?
We can detach them at speed.
Isn't that risky?
Actually, not enormously, because the only way to detect it is from the lights on the dash. The train.
No, just the detached carriages would still be moving at speed and slowing down with no way of steering them.
They're on tracks. Well, they're not on tracks.
They're not on tracks. They would just continue straight on. So if we came up to a bend,
They would definitely stop eventually, and we can control when they're detached. But they'll lose momentum.
they'll stop eventually if they hit something.
Perhaps as the train stops, or slows at least, when it comes to bends in the land between valleys through ravines, perhaps we could detach then when the train is slow enough that it is not to be so dangerous.
It would make sense because as soon as they're detached, the crystals should stop receiving the command to move forward. It being magic, they should just stop quite quickly. There's no reason, without further magical instruction, that they would continue moving forward. It's not a normal train where momentum's going to keep it going. Without magic, they will stop.
So hopefully not too abruptly.
Hard to control, but probably less abruptly than an immovable rod through the walls.
How do we keep the train moving
Well,
and not stop to pick the carriages back up?
The rest of the train would just carry on. There's no reason it would. It would know they'd been disconnected, but it wouldn't. The only
So
people.
we're going to hijack the train and drive to Paras?
Actually, pretty much, yeah.
Or his hangover kicking in slightly.
Yeah.
Actually, pretty much, yeah. Me and Sepsis will do the rest of the controlling. We get off the train. Hopefully, no one notices the difference.
Okay. I have one more question.
Go for it.
Do you know the way?
To San Jose?
Would I know if there was like a pre-planned route on the train? Presumably there would be.
Otherwise, it would be a car.
Right? Just be a really fucking big car.
There is, in Sepsis's descriptions of the train carriage to you, there is a map.
So I will show them and be like, look, can you see here? This is the mapping software. Sorry. Technical term. This is the mapping.
The artificers making up words.
Nightmare.
It's the map.
Yes, but it's not. It's anyway. Yeah. We would just be able to follow this and pull up. Hopefully, no one will realize the goblins are dead. We could toss them off the train, but honestly, there's a chance they'd survive and raise the alarm. And I think Sepsis is right on this occasion that that's too big of a risk.
So we're going to pull the train up in Paras and hope that nobody just looks at the train and go, there's crew missing and carriages missing.
Why would they notice? The goblins should be waiting until everyone's off the train to be able to move it on to the next destination.
How would they know?
Well, I mean, if there's anyone at the platform that's expecting a certain length train to pull in.
Sure. Now that would be a problem. So when we arrive, we get out as fast as humanly possible and we disappear into the crowd.
And book it.
And
Okay.
Natasha, you would be with the human slaves, which was the intention, I think, to begin with. And then we have 8 inquisitorial guards that remain to be dealt with, but we might be able to either, if we do it right on a guard change, when the new guards are walking in and the old guards have yet to leave, you would have 8 and you would leave us with 4, if you could deal with that. They'd definitely be distracted.
I can possibly thin their numbers before we get there.
I mean, that would be great. But
Also, you said there was humans that were fighting fit.
there are the last 3 carriages that have been added are humans that
If we could free them to be loose in the carriages before detaching.
smart. They would rip them apart. but also you'd run the risk of getting them killed. They're not that strong. They're still just your normal humans, not, magical humans. Probably.
I do whatever, just tell me where to go and when and who to kill.
What do you think?
I think it is a sound plan. It needs a little bit more planning. We
fine.
need again to wait for the 2 stops to get the maximum amount of human cargo, as they say, in the back of the train, and then we can detach afterwards.
If you thin the amount of inquisitorial guards, are they not going to notice that? Is that not going to cause a ruckus?
I can incapacitate, not kill.
Ah, that's a good idea. I hear missing a leg is really incapacitating.
I don't know about missing. That might be slightly too much, but a fall that puts you in a sleep for a very long time with a bump on your head, perhaps.
You're going to put them all into comas? Broken legs.
Concussion.
So really incapacitating.
Fractured skull, slow bleed, dilate.
Minor concussion.
Quite a heavy concussion by the sound of it. But yes, it's an idea we had, basically not requiring a huge distraction and hopefully preventing the need for excess bloodshed, and mostly Sepsis's idea.
I will put the idea to my superiors. When I have their answer, I will let you know. For now, keep watching, and I will get back to you as soon as I can.
We will get back to you as soon as possible. Please leave a message after the beep. That's fine. We will try and stay out of your way, well, except unless you don't want some of us to stay out of your way.
I have business to attend to at the moment. If I need any of you again, I will come for you.
Yeah, you will. Sorry, that came out of nowhere.
I think it came out of somewhere quite specific, actually.
Are you always like this? Your group, your friends?
I think it's the trauma.
It is refreshing.
In a good, like, are you saying this in a good way or in a way that we're nerving to be around?
Not that. Everyone else is so serious about saving the world.
Now, when you've lost all your family and your home, and
Yes, I do know.
you tend to develop a slightly dark sense of humor about death. Yeah. All right.
Just looks to the side with, like, when your god is the god of the dead, So
You-
not that worried about it.
Ori over here had a weird sense of humor long before the trauma. It only gets weirder with time.
Still trauma. We'll leave you to it.
Oriana,
Natasha,
thank you.
thank you.
It was fun.
I'm surprised I can walk straight this morning.
La, 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 la.
I will see you both later.
Uh-huh.
He closes the door behind him.
As we leave,
Behind you.
No.
I pat him on the head. Oh, her on the head. I go, pat, 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 and then leave, just to see how they react.
Just
Bye.
looks at you quizzically, not saying anything, just why?
As I
And
walk,
I'm the one that was off my tits last night.
as I walk out, I am fully sniggering, like.
Are you serious? Like, as we're walking back, like, are you serious about being celibate?
Honestly, I don't know where you go from here. What do you do when you're in a long distance relationship with someone you might never see again? What's the protocol for this?
How long of a message can you send with those stones?
What? To Sarahesh?
Yeah.
Has to go, well, I mean, one a day, and
How long?
about 25 words.
Yeah, I can make it work.
I don't really want. I don't know. It's,
Listen, we need to talk.
no, I don't.
It's not you. It's me.
That's not what I meant, but yeah.
I think Ari was aiming.
That's only 10 so far.
Ari was aiming for sexting. I don't know what I want to. I love her. I just don't know if I'm going to see her again, and if it's fair to make her wait as much as anything else. But perhaps it's a conversation for. It would normally be a conversation in person. I don't really know where you go from here.
Let fate decide.
And in the meantime, celibacy.
I was working out a 25 word long sexting thing.
No, I'm working at a 25 word long Dear John letter. It's 25 words, and how many break up with you cliches can I get into 25 words? Quite a few. Yeah, so you make your way back to the carriage. Is there anything in particular that you would like to do for the rest of the day or the rest of the journey to the next stop?
Nope, just travel.
Or are you happy with the time
I've got
jump?
nothing to do. Yeah, jump that time.
Okay.
I should go.
Sepsis.
Hello.
Do you read the book for the rest of the day?
Yes.
Okay. So, give me a moment, because I need to do something.
Something bad?
Nope.
It ain't gonna be good.
However, I need to manage your equipment. There we
Well,
go.
that's really something that Charlie is supposed to do. I'm supposed to let anyone else manage my equipment. She feels quite strongly about it.
Okay. I'm gonna need you to refresh your character sheet for me.
I will refresh my character sheet. Nice.
Nice.
Okay. So, as you get to the final page, feeling even now, as you start to absorb the knowledge in the book in front of you, darkness starts to cloud your senses, even now feeling there is more to this book, there is more in this book that it is not, you are not powerful enough to perceive yet. A dark wave of necrotic energy that only you can really sense bounces off you. As the darkness falls outside, it expands out, and you can feel it hurtling into the distance, miles and miles and miles. You can feel this because as this power expands from you, your power grows. Your charisma bonus has increased by 2, giving you now your charisma score has increased by 2, giving you a bonus of +5. Unfortunately, being now more cerebral, more in touch with your magical energies, you are physically slower. It has removed 2 points from your dexterity score, leaving you with a 0 modifier. It has, however, increased your armor class. Being attuned now and being able to reap the benefits of this book has increased your armor class to 12.
It was 12 before.
Oh, sorry. So you get a -1 dexterity, but a +1 from the book. That's fine. So it
Right,
stays
yeah.
at 12.
Yeah.
You are also now immune to disease. You're immune to being charmed. And
Nice.
it hasn't saved properly, but it will. You're also immune to being frightened. You also, even though you clicked attuned to it before, now have expertise in all intelligence-based skills. You have advantage when trying to look up something or remember something about an evil, any type of evil. So fiends, demons, necromancy, that kind of thing. Your eyes are now entirely black, inky black pits. You have advantage on intimidation. When talking with good aligned creatures or characters, you have advantage on persuasion when talking with evil creatures. You also have the ability to cast, once per day, an 8th level Dominate monster.
Yeah, that's bonkers.
You also have the ability, once per day, to cast Dimension Door.
Ooh.
Using the book. These abilities, Dimension Door and Dominate Monster, once you cast them, if you roll a d6.
Mm-hmm.
If you roll a 1 to 5, you have to wait until the next dawn to cast it again. If you roll a 6, you can cast it again with no cost and make the same roll.
Nice.
There are many, many secrets included in this book, including the secret of how to turn yourself into a leech or a death knight. As you perused it, there are the names of, the true names, in fact, of many fiends and demons, giving you certain power over them if you were ever, if you ever managed to connect to the 9 hells again. There are many, many, many secrets in here, many spells that you have yet to entirely interpret, but will with time and a growth in your own power. However, as you are marveling in your new, in your new raw energy that you feel coursing through you, you feel something else. Roll me an Arcana check.
22.
22. Okay. Off in the distance, you can feel, having been newly imbued with the power of conjuration to cast the Dimension Door spell, you can feel a much larger conjuration magic or spell being enacted up ahead in the distance in front of the train. And you can also feel the train begin to slow. And it's slowing quite dramatically. It slows to a stop. You can see, even in the darkness, the countryside out the windows is lit up from the front by a strange dark green light. All of you, every single one of you, and you get the feeling that every single person on this train in your head hears loudly shouted, "Give me the book, and I make it quick. Refuse me, and it's slow."
What book?
All the books.
This book.
What book is that?
This one that I've been reading.
What is that book?
As the train comes to a full stop, it lowers and begins to rest on the ground. And you can feel a rumble, like a heavy footstep, getting stronger as something walks the length of the train coming near your carriage.
Sepsis, what did you do?
I read the book.
What is the book?
It's a dark, dark book.
In a dark, dark house, in a dark, dark street. Sorry.
Sepsis, who's coming for the book?
I have no idea. Bride, do I know who's coming for the book? I have no idea.
If they can sense it, do you think putting it in the bag of holding will hide it if you want to hide it?
Have
I
you finished it?
Yes, I finished it just now, just before this happened.
Or can we not just give them the book? Or would that be a very, very bad idea?
When he said make it quick, that usually means killing someone.
You know, Sepsis, that if you give this book away or have it parted from you, it will betray you.
The
you
book
will
is
lose all of the extra abilities.
the book is bound to me. I can't give it away.
Great.
Vizier?
Boss,
Yes. Yes.
there's something big. We're standing in front of the train and the goblin stopped. And now it's walking down the train.
I can hear it. Show me.
Okay. You look through the eyes of a womb, and he's staring at the back of this form. It's about 8, possibly 9 feet tall and wide. Even in the darkness, you can see a glow. Worm turns again at your thought of the glow, and you can see that there is a portal. It's still open. It's still shimmering there, a circle with its bottom slightly cut off by the ground. Through the portal itself glows with a strange green light, the border of it. But through the portal, there is nothing but darkness. There is nothing but an inky blackness. There is nothing. But as the worm turns back then to watch the form as it walks down the train, it is a huge, almost dead form. It looks like the form of a perfect humanoid. The musculature, the skin, the height, the proportions are perfect. But the skin is purple, black. It is like he was skinned in a bruise. Some of it is grey, almost necrotic. And you can see the veins of necrotic energy running where his blood vessels should be. And he gets further and further away from the portal, but closer and closer to your carriage.
What do you want us to do, Sepsis?
I want to try and kill this thing. It's coming for me. It didn't give me an option that involves survival. It said, give it the book and I die fast, or try and keep it and I die slow.
In my head, can I go, Vizier? Are you a functioning person yet?
You get broken, static-like speech coming back to you.
Really want to know more about this book, and I figure you might know more.
Sepsis? You've seen this figure before in the books of your old master. It was his greatest wish that he could summon one, if he could ever find the correct spell, as it would be the greatest defender of him and his tower. This is an Empyrean. This is the servant of the gods. Angels flee before them.
I'll convey that to Dice and Ariana and Ace.
Do you want to fight it?
I'm not sure we can take it. In fact, I'm fairly certain we can't.
I don't know what choice I have.
At any point did this book give you any warnings that maybe reading it was a bad idea?
Yes.
And
You kept reading it?
There's power in the book.
Oh, you power-hungry little shit.
I mean, sure. I don't know what to do.
The thumping footsteps get louder.
I am going to sprint out of our door and go and try and find Natasha.
Okay.
As my automaton self, though, because I'm not stupid.
Okay.
Um,
Sepsis.
Mm-hmm.
You hear a whisper at the back of your mind. You are powerful now, Sepsis. Leave them. You have no reason to stay, and the means with which to flee. That is what the book has given you so far. It will give you much more. You do not need to stay, Sepsis. You have outgrown them.
I'm gonna look at Oriana and say, it's only interested in me, I think. Don't look for me. and then dimension door.
So in a burst of purple energy, Sepsis is gone. And with that,
Dice.
we're going to leave it there for episode 60 of the Chronicles of Nidum. Everyone's gone really quiet, and I hate it.
It's your fault.
So yes, on that note, we are going to leave it there for episode 60 of the Chronicles of Nidum, with an Empyrean on its way, Sepsis gone. I enjoyed myself anyway. But yes, I hope everyone enjoyed. I hope those still in chat, those still watching, thank you to those who have watched. Thank you to those who will watch. Please join us over on Dice of the Beholder during the week, where you can see us. Oh, and sorry, and hey, Charlie, HEYY_Charlie, who has stolen all of my subs. But
Bitch, you little
to be
bitch.
fair, it was the
I
first
made
person-
affiliate in the week anyway, so
Made
yeah.
affiliate this week. First one of us to work out how to get sound alerts to work. After my
It's not hard.
utter failure today, I don't know
If
what
you
was
subscribe,
going
you
on.
get this great waffle emote.
Yeah, if you
Yeah.
subscribe, you get an awesome waffle emote. So please come join us this week for Phasmophobia.
Whose butt is currently on the screen.
Join Charlie, Millie, and Em for Raft. Join us for Valheim.
Phasmo.
I said Phasmo.
No, you did say Phasmo. I wasn't listening to.
And eventually, at the end of the month, Phasmo's going to get even better because Charlie's going to get a lead to attach the VR to the computer. And I cannot wait to just be sitting in a van with Millie, watching Charlie stream as she tries to play Phasmo.
You got somebody's got to come in with me so you can see me, not just.
Yeah, we will. We won't. But yeah, so
You're not going to see me if you just sit in the van.
But I'll watch you stream.
They'll see you on the stream.
I don't care about what the game looks like.
No,
I
but you
want
want
to
to watch me from outside.
What temperature is it? What temperature is it?
Do.
But yes, please join us on those channels. If you're not interested in video gaming and want more TTRPG content, then please stick around here on Heavyweight Gaming and check out all of the VODs of the many other games they've got going on. The players are amazing. The DM of most of them is meh.
Right.
The one of the Icewind Dale adventure is really good, but the other DM, he doesn't even give people cues or count people in, you know. But anyway, yes, as always, take care, stay safe, wear a mask, don't go outside unless you have to. We're almost through this. Take care of yourself and your loved ones. Keep manifesting. We love you guys, and we'll see you next week.
Bye, guys. Love you.
Good night, everyone.